welcome back here to the ESL Pro League. We're jumping into the second map between HellRaisers and Mousesports here over on Cash. Joining me again is going to be Harry. Harry, expectations for the second game, sorry.
Yeah, for the second game. Well, you know, after what we just saw on Mirage, a fairly convincing win coming out from Mouse after they did close it out. You know, I still think HR are going to take it. That's just kind of my inkling, seeing as they've performed on it better, you know, within the last couple of months of seeing them actually play on it. Plus, they're a team that's been going from strength to strength. While Mirage didn't look that great for them, I still feel like, you know, just in terms of the map itself, they are a better team on it. When we kind of look across over at Mouse, they've played it a little bit, but the wins they have aren't really up against the kind of same caliber team. And the one loss they have of note is actually versus HellRaisers already, 16-3. So that was a complete stomp, but it would be one hell of a kind of Cinderella story for them to actually be able to pull it back.
Yeah, and the depressing thing as well is that was a recent loss, so it's got to be a big pullback if they want to be able to take this map away. And again, yeah, you say it yourself, this is HellRaisers' best map, so going into this, you've got to have a lot of favour towards them, at least in performance. They always seem to do very, very well here, and I think this is a map they even, you know, one of the maps they took away against FaZe over in Star Series in the you know, round of robin group stages. They also took this map away from North in the best of 3 that they won 2-1 in the quarterfinals. So this is a map that HellRaisers really have proven that they are very good on beating some very good teams. Like this is a great map for FaZe. However, HellRaisers took it away, so you've got to be very scared for Mousesports, despite, you know, having this great individual performance that we did see in the first map. Going into this one as a team, it's got to be a scary feat.
Yeah, you know, kind of when we look at it, one of the players who I normally really enjoy watching on Cash for HellRaisers is Angel, and you know, he was one of the players who actually played very, very well on Mirage. He's not only someone who you kind of associate really with being up there in terms of the kill count, kind of more like mid-table, but he does have some maps where I think he excels on. And you know, I do think Cash is one of them. Stiko as well, going to be someone I would say to keep an eye on. You know, when you look over at Mouse, it's a map they don't play all that much. It's one that they look good on in theory, but then it's like, you know, when you actually look into it, the wins they have are up against Epsilon, Godsent, and Fnatic, and they're all kind of, you know, aging a little bit now. There were wins that were kind of not that recent either. The most recent game, of course, was the one versus HellRaisers, and they got completely ruined. So let's see how they're going to fare heading into the second map, as this time, no delays, no filling for 25 minutes. Instead, we're straight into the nitty-gritty, and it's going to be the pistol round underway. Mousesports over on the T side, HellRaisers on that CT side. You go take this one away. Full
armor for Mousesports, and they are just taking advantage of that. About to charge on him, but the aggression from the CT side to counter. Angel looking for the kill. It's going to be Dennis to not even get away with it. Does damage, but frankly, the A chase does not come in now. They've been spotted. They can't commit with the full push, and Bondix even get tagged down towards middle as he gets spotted out from the highway split. They will late commit towards A, and the kill's actually going their way, or at least Oscar's way, as he picks up 2. Rops to follow, and trades will come out, but not enough here. Deadbox is dinked, and the bomb's been planted. Mousesports in a great position.
Yeah, Rops holding highway as well, looking to try and deny this already in 0. He hits the deck. It's all on Deadfox, 1v3. Tagged on a mere 16 HP to try and clutch this out. And we've seen some amazing stuff happen on pistol rounds, but not today, as Oscar is quick to mop him up. Mousesports picking up the pistol. Do find themselves now with the opportunity to try and get these first 3 rounds under their belt.
Yeah, this should be fairly okay as well, considering HellRaisers is one of those teams that we don't really see invest in too much armor on these second rounds. Just Deagles is typically the play they bring out, much like, you know, German teams, for example, just like to go for the full Deagle setup and then, you know, eco the next one, and they can get a bit more utility into their buy round, and they do the same here as well. Armor on Angel, that's going to be it. The rest of them just going pretty bare bones here, and some aggression towards middle from both sides of the team, as we do see this fast chasing towards the garage. Just one player from the CT side is running through, and Bonding gets away with the kill. Not sure how they allow him to, but he changes to the UMP, where Dennis will catch him off changing weapons. Oscar as well holding the flank, and Stiko and Deadfox last men standing.
Yeah, Bomb is looking a little bit hesitant here. They want to try and make their way over towards this B side. They've had Rops watching the angle, so they know that no one's pushed up aggressively, or at least too far. But right now they're clearing out middle. They can easily split on through, and the advantage of having Dennis head in through checkers for you is that you can clear out a lot of these closer angles on your initial push towards that B site. But they're just playing things safe. They don't really have any info as to where these last 2 players are. And now comes the charge in towards this B site. They clear out all the angles necessary. The last 2 players for HR miles away, and then you have towards that A site. Bomb will go down, and it'll be uncontested at that. I mean, HellRaisers at this point, curious to see if they even go for this. I mean, you can keep the Deagle up on Stiko. It's a $700 investment, so it's a little bit costly. You can get some armor behind it. Hell, even in the next round, who knows? Deadfox does have a flash and a P250 still to play around with. We might see him, though, try and put that to good use. He isn't tagged down low at all. I mean, you know, his investment only totaling $500, so a little bit less effective if they do throw it away. So it looks like he wants to try and do some damage here, just stacking up outside of the site. Ultimately, not expecting too much. This is going to be Mouse to find themselves a second round regardless.
Yeah, this is the kind of round where you do a passive exit. So you sit in towards, you know, whichever area of your choice, CT, and if, for example, Mousesports just save fully over towards, you know, B main, for example, which seems like they're doing, you don't chase it, you just let them get away. You can hold onto the guns if you want, but there's not really too much reason to chase and go down after the time has gone off. They will just hold onto those pistols as no one from Mousesports exits towards their position. It's just going to be a couple more invested, I can imagine, into this one. They did save a little bit in the previous round before their full buy next time, but Dead Fox, I doubt he's going to go for too much more, considering he has the AWP. Bondic invests in a PT-50 alongside Angel, and yep, everyone's bought up here with just a couple of pistols. So Mousesports, again, should have a fairly clean anti-eco before we go into the buy from HellRaisers, but an AWP will be pulled out in the first buy round from the CT side, I am sure.
Look at this aggression already from Mousesports over here towards B. 3 players to kickstart this, and they're not going slow. They have slowed down a little bit now, but they're clearing out these angles first of all. We're going to be throwing the Molotov into checkers to watch it for the close angle. It's actually Dead Fox to be holding close with a P250. Does still have the flash as well, scavenged through from that last round as he looks to try and pop flash himself in. Just waiting for the aggression to come out. Then him and Zero are going to try and pounce onto these players, but doesn't even get time to throw the flash. He's going to be eliminated on Dennis, who's just entering in towards this B site, looking to try and make some money with the UMP. Down goes Stiko as well, the Deagle. Unable to make anything happen. It's all on Bondic and Angel, and at this point, you know, Chris J watching the flank. He could potentially go down to these pistols, but the range definitely going to benefit him on the AK. You can see they rotate LOL around as well to try and be the player to mop these up with the UMP. And actually, he will go down. But Chris J here to trade things out. Shouldn't let them get away with that UMP or doing too much more damage, as he does find both the frags. Now Mal's going to be on 3. But HellRaisers do have enough money to buy on down. So this is really where we have to see them trying to wreck that barrier, stop the economy of Mousesports getting too out of control. We can see you got Rops sitting on, you know, 6,700, Dennis on 7,450. Already a nice bit of money in those bank accounts.
Choosing not to go for the AWP as well. Dead Fox not only had the choice to go for the glass cannon, but Bondic could have dropped one over, you know, considering he had 5,500 and just gone for the body armor. So interesting to see that. But maybe wanting to favour the head armor as there still is a UMP in play on Dennis. We know the potential of these bonus rounds coming in, so fairly safe option, I guess, as Dead Fox positioned deep in towards B. The Molotov going to force him to peek here. He has to take the fight, and Rops is going to be so aware. Takes the kill. Zero as well. Spam through the smoke in the meantime. Down to 1 HP. That's a B hold completely ruined right now. Not the Mousesports know. Zero's gotten away with 1 health. I don't think they even knew that they tagged him in the first place. It was through the smoke, but Dennis is just on the other side looking to try and exploit that factor. One player's rotated back in through the vents, and that's going to be Angel, but he is spotted. And the Molotov, that should force him out if he takes the gunfight, but actually moving away at the right time. Back into the checkers where he can freely reposition if need be.
Oh, Flash looking to try and sorry, Smoke actually going to go down to block off Dennis, at least for the time being. The bomb's still on the back of the rest of the team. Chris J's going to be boosted out towards mid. Now Stiko's holding up close and actually could pounce. I mean, they probably will be checking this angle. Don't have anything ready to try and flush him out, as the one Molotov they do have over a mid going to be expended to deal with vents. Chris J checks the angle, but will go down regardless. This is where you need to see the trade come through, but actually Stiko going to take the duel, and LOL's going to hit the deck as well. All the utility just being burnt away here by Mouse as they try and deal with Stiko. There's Thorn in their side over in mid, but he's still alive and kicking. They've done relatively little to him here as he waits on top of the sandbags. The push coming out in towards mid now, and it looks like they're going to reroute over here towards B. The pop flash going to be employed from this A site to try and assist Stiko, but now the push comes in. Angel in the corner, going to get 1, but then Zero on the site, only 1 HP. Just trying to buy time for the rotate to come in. Dennis is tagged down low as well, but he picks the frag up regardless. Stiko hot on his heels finds the trade, and that's going to be HellRaisers to find their first round.
Yeah, good stuff there, considering they have a real disadvantage with Zero being so low and also losing that pick down towards the B site, but an effective rotation and good mid-hold from Stiko to at least deny any presence there. So Mousesports now still able to buy up, and surprisingly after losing the round actually have a better buy put together than HellRaisers, who are going to be struggling with a couple of Famises as well with no AWP in play. Utility, not an issue though, as Mousesports post up with the AWP once again over on Oscar here for the T side. The rest of them on rifles, setting up what looks like a bit of a fast A play. Molotov to deny any kind of presence early on, so they won't be able to fully rush out, but getting in positions where they want to commit. With only 2 players on the site, while there is a fast rotation, this could be good stuff. Chris J's already opened it up, and Rops this as well over towards the vent. This is just phenomenal so far from Mousesports. They are not holding back as they charge out onto this A site. Only 1 kill in return. And bomb will be going down as well.
Rops coming in through mid, smocks out Stiko, down he goes, and now it's all on 0, 1v4, miles away, locked out the site in its entirety. Over here towards B, and now he's going to try and hold on to the M4. Looks like Rop's going to be hunting for him. Wants to try and take this M4 off him, a full belty utility as well, but Rop's just going to be silenced. An AK picked up. But now they know where he is, and they're going to be enclosing on his position rapidly. Don't want to allow him to try and get anything out of this round. It would be a full reset if they lose this rifle. I think Mouse at this point just going to opt to hold back. Don't want to give anything else away HR. One rifle saved up after all isn't too bad.
Yeah, and you need to make sure if you're on that T side, or regardless of the side you're on, if you keep 3 rifles alive after the round, you are building an economy. But if you only keep 2, then you're technically losing a net gain. So it's not a good situation for Mouse if they went out and then they chased it down and lost another player or 2. So it's safe to at least let the CT get away with 1 rifle and keep yourself 3 so you build up some cash. You can drop over the guns. Chris J and Rops will be fine with weaponry as well. And Mousesports are actually having the upper hand in this one. So now HellRaisers is actually forcing round a single AK. They do get reset, understandably so, but still this is really just clutching onto straws at this point. They have nothing to play with. Stiko, though, will, however, open up with a Deagle, taking down Oscar and removing the AWP from Mousesports.
Yeah, Lol and the gang over here toward this A site while the Boost going to be employed over in mid, sorry. Is Angel now trying to come on in. They don't have anyone watching it, so he's going to be a real threat to these guys. They do make their way out over towards this A site through the smoke. Lol going to just dispatch of Bondic like the smoke wasn't even there. But they've got to watch out because Angel is hot on their heels coming on in from the boost. Got to watch out because if Rops makes his way in through a main, could be discovered. But for the time being, Angel going to be allowed to pounce on out. Chris J's got to watch the angle, but he has been allowed to sneak on by for the time being. Both these players very wary of A main, and down he goes as Dennis picks it up. Will be a 3-on-4. They still haven't even found Rops, who is late on the lurk in mid. Just pounces now. 0 gets eliminated from the equation. But meanwhile on the site, they've been able to turn it into a 2-on-1 affair. And Lol just playing it round the bomb. Playing it round red, trying to isolate these players. Finds the first. Does good damage on the Dead Fox. And this should be easy now for Rops to pick up. Defuse going to be baited on out as Rops pushes the smoke. And Dead Fox actually finds it. Defuse going to come on in. He's got just enough time, and that's going to be HR to find themselves a second round.
He baited out the defuse. Rops had to go for that fight because he thought he'd commit it, especially with not knowing the position of Rops. Could have been a great round there for Mousesports, but they're just going to throw it away. And considering HellRaisers had barely anything into that one, they forced things up and didn't have a great buy at all. It's great to see them actually get away with something worthwhile. A couple of pistols and some FAMASes, and they make it a win. So now Mousesports, they're the ones, you know, buying down really on the lesser side. They don't have anything left after this full commitment. Lau doesn't even have the utility alongside Chris J, who's extremely limited. And HellRaisers, well, they still do have a couple of FAMASes in play. The utility and the kits aren't too bad here. There's still no AWP for the CT side. That's a bit of a limiting factor, whereas Oscar still committing to that T side AWP.
Once again, going to be looking at A aggression as we can see Oscar just watching out over towards quad, but there is a player boosted up on top already. Finds it first as Angel pounces from a bit of a outlandish location. Will be traded out by Lol, but Bondic in through Squeaky. Does find Chris J. Now Lol falling on back in order to pick up the bomb, but it's a 2-on-4 as the man advantage is slid very much in favor of HR. Rops on the lurk over here at B to try and open up a window of opportunity. As he peeks on out, 2 players still in this B site. Doesn't find the first. 0 going to be coming up better in that engagement. Leaving this all on Lol. 1v4. 2 players still in towards this B site. They should just be able to trade this out. It's going to require some expert marksmanship. And with where they are, the crossfire is well and truly set up. Dead Fox finds the frag, and that'll be HellRaisers to pick up a third.
What an off angle from 0, just sitting on top of default box, just staring down in towards checkers. And
yeah, I mean, Angel did it as well, right? Over on A, just up on top of red, like it's nobody's business.
Even so, that's an even more common spot. I don't think I've ever seen someone stand over on default on B and get a pick like that. The close position as well towards ramp really did help out, because it means if anyone commits and tries to trade, there's a player there, but still, really odd angle to be holding from. Does catch him off guard though, so I do like a bit of a switch up. Very open, so it can be, you know, an easy pick for the T's if they are aware. But it is this time going to be Mousesports forcing things up, looking for the charge on into B, with Angel checking over towards main. They know that no one's pushing towards this side of the map, and that hints towards a bit of a B play. As this smoke starts to dissipate, the players will flash themselves in, just commit straight out onto the site. 0 first to find as he gets himself 2. Dead Fox supports from heaven, and he gets 2 as well. It's going to be plenty of kills going the way of HellRaisers as only the A flank remains. Chris J sneaking out, but I think they're aware of the possibility, especially with not spotting anyone else. They've got to be careful with their back, though, because Chris J is right there and ready. But Angel's already primed. It's going to be 4-4 for HellRaisers. They bring it back to an equal scoreline. And again, Harry, much as was the first map, this continues to be close.
Now, one thing I did like about that last round is the fact they kind of started off with Rops being the one to clear out all the angles. The reason being is, you know, he's been kind of the dedicated lurk on both of these maps. He's the one that we see apart from the rest of the team. And, you know, in the knowledge that if they find Rops over there towards B, they pick up that first frag on him while he's kind of clearing the angles, they're not going to expect the rest of the team to be tagging along right behind. So it was a nice idea, but it didn't really work in practice. When it came to executing into the site, Zero and Deadfox, expert displays of marksmanship, completely mopped that up. But still, I mean, it was a nice idea. But overall, you know, what's kind of your opinion on Rops playing this lurk role? And I mean, I would say it's worked out in some of these rounds, but I would like to see them still have some where they do just go in as a team to try and get these trades. It does sometimes feel like they've got their backs against the wall a bit because there's a player on the other side of the map.
See, the thing is, I think because he's got no experience playing in a professional team of this level, at least they can kind of just mold him how they want to. They can just say, you know, this is the role you should be playing, we'll put you in this, we'll let you do what you want. And Lurk is one of those roles where you kind of get to decide what you do more so individually, and that is who Rops is, an individual aimer. He's a great player. So putting him in a role where he can control his own choices and kind of choose what he wants to do in that regard is good to see. But yeah, I mean, you've got to take some account to his great aim as well, in the sense of putting him in first or second into sites could definitely benefit the team. And I think they've been switching him up. They've not just been leaving him as the lurk role. I mean, over in Mirage, while on the T side he was lurking heavily over towards Ramp and Palace kind of area, occasionally they would split back towards A and he would be the man to open up the site towards Ramp. So they do switch up his position constantly, which is something good to see.
Yeah, this time they're not the case, as Rops once again over here towards B. Will be there on his lonesome. Everyone else stacked up outside of this A site, looking like they're going to go on in. Just, you know, if Rops does go down all the way over there on the flank, doesn't really add a lot into this. They're going to know it's the lurk anyway. So he will just look to rejoin his teammates now over towards middle. It looks like him and Dennis want to try and make their way out, or just at least scan it. Chris J going to be looking fairly hurt as that nade chimes on in with a boatload of damage. 72 HP's worth of HP taken off, courtesy of that stray frag grenade. Now they're ready to push in towards this A site. Two players here in the form of Bondik and Angel to watch for this. Bondik, the only player actually on the site, has a lot on his plate as they just pour on through, but Angel to support in from Highway doesn't matter as the mop-up comes in. And this round over before it even began. Dennis, the last player left alive, barely any HP, and he will falter. 3 frags there for Bondik as he looks to try and pad those stats best he can to bring himself up from the bottom into the middle of the board.
A good streak of rounds for HellRaisers now as Mousesports are back in the buy. AK is fully up, no AWP, but I mean, to be honest, Oscar's not been having too much effect with that so far this map, despite picking it up 2 or 3 times so far, so it's not too much of an issue. HellRaisers themselves are just sticking with the rifles, and this is one of those maps where you can kind of get away with it. You don't need the AWP as much. It's typically used towards B over on the CT side, but it's not exactly, you know, vital to the CT side at least. As you can see, Deadfox himself, he's doing absolutely fine over towards Checkers for the time being. He doesn't really need that, as Rops, as you say, the lurking question, going to be starting to move on in towards the Checkers position. Deadfox just on the other side of the smoke. I think he spotted him there, but actually crossing back, gets tagged down. Got to be careful of that one, but still no pick going the way of Mousesports.
Boost going to be employed to get Oscar up over in towards the middle to try and find some sort of entry, some sort of leeway for Mousesports as him and Dennis look to try and peek on out. Dennis spots Stico there over on the highway now, peeking out in towards middle, so they know where he is, and this is going to help Oscar try and pick up this initial frag. They know exactly where to watch for, and Stico is in middle on his lonesome, looking to try and just pull back in towards this A site, expecting that mid's going to be the point of contact for him. Does just relinquish control now, playing it more passively over towards CT, disallowing any players to push in through Z. Might be able to find something as he peeks out wide. Dennis going to go down, but the trade should come through from Oscar. Actually can't quite connect the shots, so for the time being, Stico will live to fight another day. Now the push coming out towards this A site. Angel's up close, but gets caught with a nade out, so down he goes. Chris J to find the entry. Stico rotating around over towards Car, going to be dropped as LOL combines with one on the Bondik as well, so suddenly this A site just crumbles down around them. And Zero and Deadfox, they're so far away, they're so isolated from this site, and there's no chance of them retaking this. They're going to fall back, opt to save as the scoreline goes 5-5.
Yeah, after a streak of 4 rounds as well from HellRaisers, finally back on the board. Issue is, we look at this economy on the CT side, they can still reinvest. They have no issue, even with 0 saving players. So Mousesports should not be chasing down too heavily. Maybe send 1 or 2 players max into this one, considering they do want to keep 3 players alive. And Oscar's going to be the only man hunting for this one, and moving in towards this B site. But other than that, they should just be holding on to these guns and then going for the reinvestment, attempting to reset the economy of Mouse, which could be quite dangerous. But I think in this kind of round, I wouldn't be surprised, or I would like to see, I guess, HellRaisers actually chase these frags to get some guns off. Because say they chase the frags now, right? They don't allow Mousesports to keep 3 players alive. Even if they lose the guns, they reinvest next round without a problem. If they win that, the Mousesports are instantly down on eco. Whereas if HellRaisers win this, Mousesports can still afford. Or potentially, maybe not now. Because they've got the AWP.
Yeah, both sides actually now opting to pick an AWP up. Dead Fox will be playing it over towards his B side. He had a great spawn for it as well. He might beat Oscar there. He's already down on the ground, and Oscar just be round in the corner. Smoke will go down. Dead Fox going to push on through, but Oscar's posted up brilliantly to deal with that. Down he goes as they find themselves the opener. Now looking to try and convert this into some sort of advantage by pushing it towards his B site, acting on it nice and quickly. They do get locked out from the utility usage on 0. The Molotov holds them back for the time being, and already you can kind of tell the aggression leaving Mousesports a little bit. They're not committed to pushing in towards this B site so much anymore, but they do have players now over in checkers, and this alone prevents 0 from ever rotating off of this B site, at least for the meantime. You can see they've also got Stiko here as well as a rotated player, but in the meantime, Angel's pushed on up in towards A main. He's got a lot of information on the back of this.
Just slow for Mousesports. They haven't committed just yet. They can easily back off back towards A, especially with the bomb control in the meantime being over towards middle. But Chris J going to drag that back towards this B site. And surprisingly, HellRaisers have not shifted at all. They've got this aggressive player over in main, but only now going to rotate Bondic back in towards middle. He's closer towards B. He can at least defend this site with the team, but really, with this kind of aggression this late into the round, you should have a full setup over towards the B site. You should be confident in the play, but 0 finding to spot them out, going for the fight, gets 1, but Rops to trade, still favouring Mousesports here with the smoke, holding down Stiko, apparently not enough, as he shoots in through it. Takes down another kill. Aggression towards heaven. Bondic going to get punished. And now Stiko, he's just got to run for the hills. He's got to get away. He needs to hold on to this gun. There's now Mousesports. They've got themselves another round. The bomb will be going down, but it seems that Stiko may actually want to contest through this vent here. But the issue is, his position is going to be instantly given away as soon as he peeks around this corner.
I don't even get to see what's around the corner. Oscar just disallowing him that privilege before his untimely death. And that'll be a 6-5 scoreline. Mousesports picking up their second consecutively, chipping away at the economy of HellRaisers, which is a good thing, considering you know, they were very much ahead in terms of it. Now when we kind of look at, they are within the realms of having that economy reset, very much so at least. So Mousesports finding themselves in the driving seat a little bit here, going to be sending some players out towards mid this time. Lots of aggression from them. Oscar on the AWP being very dynamic, picks up the first, boosted on up. Angel goes down, and that's the middle of this map just opened on up, but they're actually going to use this opportunity to make their way out towards A instead. They know that this would lead to the rotate down through highway, and that means Dead Fox was trying to watch mid, leaves Bondic alone on A and makes it for an easy entry for Mousesports. They find him as well. It's all on 0 and Stiko over towards B, and they've got to try and save once again, but this time Rops is here to try and make things costly, and he gets nothing done.
Bit of damage onto Stiko could be eventually what, you know, winds him down, as he is down to 14 HP, but they push back into the T-spawn here. An unlikely position for Mousesports to chase, but they already have Dennis on the flank into B, so actually they are going to about to flood out into this position. They should know exactly where these 2 CTs are saving, because they've cleared the rest of the map. They have to be towards either T-spawn or over towards checkers, and Stiko's going to give away his position, takes down Lau. Now they're going to start to close in on them. Time is low. Mousesports don't want to lose too much here. There's not really much point chasing too heavily, and with his utility going down, that should just seal the deal. There's no reason to get any more aggressive, and utility's going to be great so far for HellRaisers. Actually, another kill going their way, but Chris just does drop 0 in the meantime, so at least a little more money taken away from the CT side, but they can still buy up a fair bit here if they want to commit to a buy.
Yeah, going to be seeing the AWP up on Dead Fox, still on the CT side. Now their economy, though, is that breaking point. They've got to try and convert this round to a win, or else they will be down onto the eco. And once again, the boost being employed over in middle this time to get Dennis up on top of red. Haven't seen the boost towards mid just yet, but Dead Fox posted on up this time on A, being very, very good at just being That dynamic AWP constantly changing positions, but then so is his counterpart Oscar in a great place to try and counteract this exact play from deadfox. Pop flash going to go in. deadfox peeks the angle, but Oscar quicker on the trigger. Down he goes. Wherever deadfox is, Oscar is there, and Oscar is faster. So already they go ahead and forego that man advantage. AWP's down as well. Bondik's looking to be a little bit unhealthy as he gets tagged down to 12 HP trying to retrieve the AWP. Now going to try and fall back. The pop flash comes through. Doesn't allow Chris J to find a frag just yet. Stico and Bondik watching for the cross on A, but Mousesports, they've got so much time left. They're not dedicated to this A site.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to start to field a couple of players back towards B. Bomb going to be making its way in tow as well, so looking like the commitment here. With only one player left on the defense, while Angel does have a fast rotation, it's pretty much all going to be on the shoulders of Zero to defend this. A Molotov, a Flash, and an M4 to work with, nothing else. They can easily make their passage into this site, but the flash going to go in. This should allow Angel to drop him from behind, and he does, but to no avail as removes his head. Dennis entries up onto Zero, leaving just Stico and CT Spawn, but he's only good for one, as the trade is instantaneous, leaving just Bondik down towards Squeaky. Will be pushing out a bit, just to try and get aggressive, get into a position where he can save the gun, and Squeaky is such a common spot. So many people expect it, but Chris J is just on the other side, and I think they have a bit of an inkling. He's made noise, doesn't matter. Chris J going to hit the headshot. Mousesports, they win another round, and this T side is far more effective than I expected it would be.
Yeah, Paul's going to be called on in, and justifiably too, I think for both sides, really to try and process exactly what is going on. HellRaisers now finding themselves falling behind. Despite a very strong start, we can now see that they're currently 3 rounds behind, have no money to invest into this one, which should mean that Mouse should be able to take it to a 9-5 scoreline, potentially a 10-5 half on our hands here if Mouse can continue in this form. HR need to step up, and they really have to do it well now or in the next round. They can't. I think 10-5 is too far gone to the way of Mouse. I really think we need to see them go 9-6 if anything.
Especially on such an equal map as well, you would like to see a 9-6, 8-7 scoreline, but doesn't look realistic. I'd like to look at the money at least of HellRaisers to kind of see what they're going to be going for here. It seems like they are investing a little bit, but nothing too heavy. Yeah, I mean, the loss bonus does dictate that they can buy down to even, Angels on 1k. I don't think it's too much of an issue because he's going to have 3,400 after this round without any kill money. So it's not that bad for HellRaisers in terms of buying up next round, but it does give a free one to Mousesports, meaning that a 9-6 is all that HellRaisers can hope for, if that. And frankly, after only picking up 4 rounds earlier on in the game before the economy started to stable, with Mousesports having the full buy, having that open Oscar that's been going so effectively as it was in the previous map, I'm quite worried for HellRaisers in the last round of the half.
Yeah, and there hasn't been kind of one definitive weak point. That's the hard part, right? It hasn't been like, you can't just say, mid's been weak, put someone else there, kind of rotate players around, because Oscar's been the real problem. He's kind of been creating the opportunities that have then led to the round wins. And they haven't been able to predict where he is because he switches it up every single round, never kind of goes to the same spot twice. We always see him being, very versatile, very aggressive, and it has been working out for them this time. Looks like they're going to be sending 2 players over towards middle, 2 out on this A site, who might opt to go aggressive over here towards Squeaky, but Chris J's posted on up to deal with him exactly. Looks like they're going to employ the boost. Actually, LOL spamming on through, trying to tag these players down. Angel's been boosted up in middle as well, but Dennis is posted up to try and counter this exact play and should be able to connect this no problem. So with how Mouse have read this, it looks like they're going to be able to pick this one up without any sort of issues. And I'm actually saying that Dennis is going to rotate off at perhaps just the wrong time, as this could allow some magic to happen on behalf of Angel.
Yeah, I don't think he could push so aggressively so early on in the round, though, considering he only has a pistol. Can't take those long-range engagements, has to wait until maybe they're inside of main. He can just drop in for the flank, but either way, Mousesports going to start to feed in towards this B site. Only Zero again defending it. It seems like the B control from Mouse has been perfect so far, and HellRaisers never really having a counteracting stack to it. It's just Zero on his own most of these rounds, and that's not been enough because they've not been being able to go for these retakes, and they've not been winning the defenses. So this is so difficult. Angel finally going to peek out over towards that A side of the map, but he doesn't get anything, leaving it now again, as I say, all on Zero to pull this one out of the bag.
Yeah, Pop flashes himself out, does find the first, looking for even more, but he's only got 2 bullets left. Doesn't matter because he makes it work. Got to try and reload, swiftly traded out by Dennis, but he's done all the damage he had to do. Stico rotating around in the meantime does get 1. The trade comes in from LOL, into a 2-on-2 we go. And Zero putting in more than enough work to try and make this possible. As a 2-on-2 ensues, deadfox rotating on round Bondik as well. And deadfox doesn't really have much to play around, but he's going to go aggressive, picks up the frag on a LOL. Suddenly it's a 2-on-1, and things are looking to be a little bit threatening here for Chris J. As he rotates in, bomb isn't planted in a great spot for him as They just swarm onto the site, and Bondik's going to pick it up. HellRaisers secure themselves a 6 as they take an 8-6 scoreline, looking poised to try and pick up a 7th in the next round. That was exactly what they needed on the back of the man in question, 0.
How does that happen? Great play, great play. He's not been able to do that with rifles, but finally gets it down with the CZ75 there, as you can see on this replay. Lovely stuff. But really, a bit of a misplay from Mousesports there to allow him to get away with that. Really should have been prepared for that one. Maybe have an anti-flash play in position, especially considering they knew they were up against pistols there. No reason to, not clear out that area with Molotovs or have some smokes down to at least counteract that. Either way, great performance from Zero, and it will allow HellRaisers to get that 6. Now meaning that an 8-7 is possible, not just that dreaded 9-6 that we were talking about. And they are going to be doing their very best to go for it as well, considering this AWP is out, the rifles are in play, plenty of utility, nothing holding them back here. They just have to win this round, hit their shots, and Angel going to start to do so.
Angel to kickstart this. Bondik will be traded on out, though, and he's been kind of one of the players who we look to hold down this A site, but Angel going to be able to pick up his job, no problem. Finds 2 quick frags on the entry. He's looking to try and get even more, and should be able to spot out Lol, but Lol faster on the trigger. Dispatches of the lone player. Now Stiko in the site alone. Got to try and buy time for the rotates to come in. Zero's already here and posted on up. The crossfire going to prove to be too strong as he trades out for Stiko. It's all on Oscar. 1v2. Misses that first shot. Now they know exactly where he is. He knows that Zero's on the site somewhere. Peeking it with a Deeg. Does spot him out. Looking to try and connect the shots, but can't quite make it work. Will smoke himself off for the time being. Was going to try and push through, try and be cheeky, but Zero picks that up, no problem. An amazing first half, and it's all going to continue in the second after a very quick break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into the second half in just a second between Mousesports and HellRaisers. Here on Cash, a good half of Mousesports, taking the lead 8-7, but still it's undecided the fate of HellRaisers. Yeah,
I mean, I think they missed on some very key opportunities. There were a couple of things that Mouse were doing that I would say shouldn't have really been working for them, but they were. A lot of things that HR I feel like could have capitalized on, but never really did. Rops, for example, is someone that I kind of said, having him lurk over towards B, which he did every single round for the most part. I think there were 2 rounds where he wasn't over towards that B site throughout the whole of the first half. And, having someone in a position that consistently, and it's not even like he was really landing his shots all that much over towards B. A lot of the times he would be the player to go down. But it never really felt like they chased that frag enough. That could have been an isolated player all on his lonesome. They never really had anyone there to trade things out. We just didn't really ever see them go for it. So allowing that much control just to one guy over towards that B site meant that you never saw the quick rotates coming in from Zero. Whenever Dead Fox was there, he was always kind of pinned down over towards Checkers trying to deal with Rops. I feel like they could have capitalized on that knowledge a little bit more. It's not like you ever saw that switched up from Mouse.
That is true. But I'd like to know what you think going into the second half in terms of who's going to be able to take this one away. Obviously, Mousesports have the advantage in terms of rounds, but a pistol round can completely switch that up. It's only 8-7. It's anyone's game. Are you thinking Mouse can close this out 2-0, or are you thinking HellRaisers will come back?
I mean, I want Mouse to close it out 2-0, right? Because I want to be proven wrong, and I also want your prediction to be wrong. But
it's your prediction as well.
No. Mine was 2-0 to HR. I'm already horrifically wrong.
Oh, okay, you already failed. Yeah.
I do think that HR they played fairly badly in the first half, all things considered. We did see them kind of pick it up towards the end. If we could see more of that, then they could definitely take it. But right now, I'm going to hedge my bets on Mouse.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. I'm going to stick with my prediction, but I do agree at this point that Mouse are looking very good. Very good chance that they could actually take away the second map. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with my prediction because I'm right so far. Go to the grave with it. But we're jumping into the second pistol round here of this map.
Had to slip in that you were right so far.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're the one who called it out. I forgot that you failed on the first map.
Yeah. Well, anyway. All that aside, not that anyone cares. We can see the boost coming in over towards middle, and actually already Chris J going to kickstart this one as Stiko has his face removed, courtesy Lone German himself now. Zero able to get one in retort. Oscar doing some damage over towards the A site, quickly silenced and snuffed out by Dead Fox. As Chris J looks to be the man in question in this pistol round, picking up a second frag for himself over towards mid. The bomb is out on this A site, but hasn't been allowed to go down just yet. As Dead Fox does find himself currently here alone, waiting for Zero to position over in A main. And actually, no peek's going to be coming on in, so that's going to allow this bomb to plant for A main, although it can still be defused in relative safely, so it's fairly pivotal that Dead Fox doesn't go down on this site and that the crossfire can just reign supreme, but he gets caught out trying to cross over towards Forklift. Both players there just rubbing each other's backs, but it doesn't matter because they find the frags necessary. Now it's all on Chris J, going to be able to get the third, looking for a fourth frag here as he comes on in with a vengeance, looking to try and pick this pistol round up, and actually down goes Zero as well. Chris J, the man in question, 4 frags for him. Nearly the ace, but not quite.
No. Mousesports have... Yeah,
power struggles in Mousesports.
The two AWPers arguing over who gets the ace. But yeah, I mean, almost everyone has ace so far in Mouse. I mean, Rops and Lau have both aced a pistol each. Chris J's got a 4K on a pistol. It's too late now for Oscar or Dennis to have a pistol round, but...
UMP. Supremacy.
Look at the buy as well over on HellRaisers. They buy up a single AK.
Oh, now this is interesting. This is something we usually see teams like Gambit do. It's a strategy that I actually really like seeing employed. You have this one Catalyst rifle, and actually now they have 2. So it's double what we usually kind of see teams opt to do in this scenario. And I bring up Gambit because they're the one who I feel like do it the most. Now, they try and use these Catalyst rifles to create the opportunities in the knowledge that Mousesports are going to, for the most part, have these SMGs brought up. And so as a result, in the long-range engagements, these AKs should come out on top as they try to clear out mid. Chris J's up close. That may get a giveaway his position. You just signal it out to Angel, who takes the peek, sprays him down, does great damage in through the smoke, and then picks up that frag. Now that's a UMP picked up and transferred onto the HellRaisers players. Dennis does get one in return at least, but they should be able to trade this out in mid as Bondnik quick on the trigger with the AK. Rops, meanwhile, flanking over here towards B, does make things a little bit more harder for them as he finds himself a frag, putting it into a 2-on-3, but mid control's fully gone the way of HR here, and they're just going to completely bypass Rops by going down through vents.
Yeah, still one player without armor here, so it's not completely over for Mousesports. They can get back into this round as Lau, he comes in from the CT spawn, looking to go back towards Heaven. Molotov for the plant as well, could deny it, but it's too little too late. That bomb will be going down, maybe some extra damage on top of it, but nothing too much as they do force themselves back towards a safe position. Bondnik just holding on to the vents, and Rops not with the best weapon for range. This is exactly what the AKs are made for. Look at the damage though, 1 HP left, and Rops actually finalizes the kill. Now it's WMP versus WMP, but Dead Fox still armorless. This could be a retake for Mouse. They need to hurry up though. Stiko's dead, going for the spray. Dead Fox trades, and Rops pushing in close. Just needs a 1-on-1, he'll get it. Mousesports close it out, and HellRaisers, despite doing a huge amount of damage with what little investment they did have, it's going to be Mousesports' round.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we only had to do a little, but he did lots. It's the Estonian wonder child, Rops. There we go. Another one. That's 2. As yeah, he's fantastic. I love watching him play. There's just something special about it. You know, seeing kind of this new player in the lineup do phenomenally well. And yeah, I mean, he clutches it out once again, the Clutch King himself. 10-7 is Mouse. They pick up that second, but the buy coming in from HellRaisers yet again because they got the bomb down, so they've still got money to play around with. 4 Galils and a UMP looking at just throw the bird to the meta.
Stiko, though, might be able to catch out Chris close in middle. It's all a question of who pushes first in this engagement. Chris isn't going to get too aggressive through the smoke, I'd like to think, as Stiko just holds on, although going for the fight. Eventually, Chris J actually going to fall up on top of it. Oscar does get a pick with the AWP in the meantime, so that's going to be another player out for the count. Mousesports sitting pretty in this round. No need to get aggressive at all. They've got the double man advantage. They don't need to trade anything for the time being. It's all leaving the pressure on HellRaisers, who, albeit have no utility and no real rifles as well. Galil's definitely not going to be favourable considering the full head armour on the side of Mousesports. Nothing to take advantage of there. If anything, UMPs will be better in this engagement, allowing the run and gun style on towards this A site, but they are going to finally make their way outside of this squeaky and main area. One player towards MBK and one towards the site. Lau defending. Dennis is still there, and they don't even know. They're not going to check it. He lines them up and sprays them down. Mousesports get 11 rounds, and they don't even lose a player.
Yeah, this is where things get terrifying for HellRaisers right now. Not only are they 4 rounds behind, they've got no money. They're going to have to just eco this one out. And that's kind of, you know, the price you pay for, you know, kind of being so aggressive in those buys, buying up in the second, and then once again in the third round, after losing all of them. This is going to be their 4th round loss, essentially, right? So it's going to go 12-7. There's going to be lots of money behind Mousesports for them to continue this aggressive buying pattern. And while HellRaisers, with their backs very much against the wall, not like they didn't put themselves here somewhat low on the back of trying to go aggressive in these buys, are now going to be a little bit desperate, looking to execute out on towards this A site. 4 players here with a 5th quick to rotate on round in the form of Stiko as he just waits to see if anyone gets boosted up mid, also trying to spot out a player. But actually, okay, lol, through the smoke, doesn't matter, doesn't need vision, he finds heads anyway.
It should be clean. The fact that Mousesports are even allowing a bomb plant up against little investment from HR is quite surprising. Obviously wanting to hold onto as many rifles as possible, but still, it's dangerous now knowing that HellRaisers will have a lot more money to work with. At least Mousesports won't lose a man in this retake. Lau closes it out with a couple more kills, and they will get the defuse. So 5 players still alive for Mouse. Important to start building up that CT economy, and that's something we've seen struggle at least on both teams here in both maps. Neither team being able to get too much of a stranglehold over on that cash flow, so now we see Mousesports playing safe. It is good in the sense that now they're going to really have some cash in the reserves. If they start to lose rounds, they can continue to buy up. So HellRaisers now on their first T-side buy. AWP in for Deadfox thanks to the bomb plant. Mousesports still sticking with the UMP, but they've got an AWP on Oscar to counter Deadfox.
Boosting Stiko up over in towards middle to try and find something early on. As see Mousesports playing 2 players over towards here. Actually going to be boosting someone up in vents as well. Meaning it's a 3-pronged hold in mid. And actually it looks like we might be seeing some aggression towards main potentially as Chris J just waits on the other side of the smoke patiently. Stiko waiting, biding his time to see if anyone does push on through. Perfect angle to snuff out any sort of aggression early on. Chris J only having a UMP. And actually there's the nade as they slam dunk. Angel should be playing basketball, not Counter-Strike. Stiko does find one to get it back into a 4-on-4 at least as Chris J goes down on the aggressive peek in towards middle. The Molotov flushes Rops at a vent, leaving this mid-hold actually all on Dennis.
Has to hit his shots. They've dropped in from the boost as well. I think he's going to know that one. Should be peeking out with this Molotov, but Flash comes through. He doesn't expect the close angle. This could be a perfect opportunity for Bondit to strike. He's turned around, and Bondit chases it. There's the kill, but Oscar trades in from Connector as the rotation comes back in towards Z. 3-on-3 now. They still need to move on to a site sooner. There's 40 seconds are remaining on the clock here. Flashes and Smoke's going to start to make their way down towards A, and it's leaving it all on Lau. He just has to stay alive, allow time for the rotation to come on in. He's doing exactly that, not taking any fight just yet. As the flash comes in, he will go for the peak, and he gets himself 1, almost makes it 2, but Zero stays alive. 10 HP left on the man, and not even going to have time to commit to the plant. Has to get himself an engagement here. Does jump up on top of the box, and it works. The Molotov denies the plant here, but he has 15 seconds to work with, while Rops is full HP. This is doable from either side of the court.
Yeah, Rob's just holding it passive for the time being, locked in this one-on-one. He knows that Zero is tagged a little bit, but he doesn't know how low 1 bullet is all it's going to take. He's got 2 flashes to play around with as well. As he peeks out from highway, taking things slowly, Crab walking into the crosshair of Zero, but he finds the shot anyway. Down he goes. The AWP's going to be picked up. Mousesports find themselves with the 13th. HellRaisers should have enough money to buy on the back of the loss bonus along with the bomb plant as well. But look at the money for Mouse. I mean, it's not going to be an issue for them now. If they continue in this form as well, I think we could see this closed out very, very quickly. Yeah,
it's such a surprise considering this is the map that HellRaisers should not be losing. This is one of the 2 that we said, okay, well, this will be HellRaisers. Mirage is a toss-up. Mouse could take it away, but I mean, last time these guys played this map against each other 2 weeks ago online, HellRaisers 16-3'd them. Everything points to HellRaisers doing better, and now we're seeing the complete opposite. This is not just HellRaisers playing off, this is Mousesports playing great, and Rops as well. Good clutch there. I mean, I didn't even see the opposition. I doubt the opposition even saw him over from the site. Great aim, as you would expect. Deadfox at least going to open this one up with the AK. Doesn't need the AWP this time as he takes down Lau. First kill going HellRaisers' way, but again, most rounds have been that way, seemingly not being able to close it out regardless.
Yeah, now they boost up. Angel over towards mid to try and clear this out. Oscar's posted up here with the AWP though. Should be able to find an equalizer if they go blow for blow. As Angel just bides his time on the other side of the boost. But actually Chris J's gone aggressive, spots him out, and he's just going to trigger control expert. Finds that first frag. There's 3 players over, and Squeaky though take this opportunity to push on out in towards the A site. They're going to get it entirely for free. Stiko's still in mid, a player in their backline here, and this round's actually shaped up to be a horrible one for Mouse. Stiko's actually just running around. Dennis firing at him, but he doesn't even realize. Into a 3-on-3 we go. The retake coming in. Dennis on the flank. Oscar and Rops both coming in from Truck to try and find some sort of opener. Smoke goes down just in the nick of time as Dead Fox finds one out on a Dennis. They find themselves now 2-on-3. A man down in this scenario. Rob's watching the cross. Oscar actually the one on the site going aggressive with the AWP. Finds himself the first. Dead Fox does pick up Rob's. Oscar's going to be in a 1v3. He's got to try and clutch this out, and actually it's 0 on top of Red to completely shut that down. 4 frags for Dead Fox, 1 for 0 as he does get denied the ace, and a 13-8 scoreline.
The AWP is well saved. It's important. You can throw that over to Dead Fox, get him in place. Nico's got it currently, but I'm sure they'll be trading that back. Still, though, we talk about this economy of Mouse being absolutely fine. They will be able to reinvest into this with the AWP on Oscar, but this will be their last buy. If they lose this one, it's going to be ecoing CT players as HellRaisers looking to finally get back into this matchup. It was looking a bit scary in the previous round. Now I'm starting to feel that if HellRaisers can pick this one up, they can bring it back to a far more respectable scoreline. But that's easier said than done with Chris J running in through Molotovs. He takes down Stico, runs back inside of the vents, and he can just drop back in towards B. Or you'd like to think so if he didn't run into a Molotov. 0 takes him down, and a 4v4 back.
Yeah, blinded by the fear of dying to 0 in mid. He walks into the Molotov that was there from earlier and perishes anyway. That will be a 4-on-4 ensuing. And for the time being, Bomb's actually over towards this B site. Looks like they might leave Angel on the flank to try and cause a ruckus, keep these players from rotating off A, and that's going to work out brilliantly as right now there are 3 players on this A site. They take the aggression. Angel finds the first, but then there's Dennis there to trade. This leaves a lot, though, on Rops over here towards B, who's currently in and over towards Checkers. Playing a bit of an off angle. They should check this and Molotov it out. They've got the utility to do so. But no, they're going to use it on the site. They don't check it. Rob's peeking on out, finds the first, but then there's Bonding to instantly trade things back into a 2-1-2. Don't want to give Mousesports so much as a foot in the door here. The pop flash going to be coming on in from Dennis, but he actually misses it and fully flashes himself. And now they don't have a flash to make their way back into the site, so they might just opt to fade away in this scenario.
I think they could still go for it, especially with the smoke at least to cut off one angle here. That's going to go in through upper. Should land towards Checkers. That cancels out Dead Fox's position. Has to go back towards B main where they can actually take a fight on him fairly with a double P coming up from heaven and lower. But Dead Fox missing the shot. Dennis takes him. Bonding trades and now he's just sitting towards the back of the site, biding his time. No need to fight. The bomb is ticking away and Dennis is going to get in time. He gets the kill. He has time for the defuse and he can even grab an AWP to save. So Mousesports, right after a loss, take the reset. 14 rounds. And HellRaisers, yes, the bomb plant's going to be good for their money, but still, that's a reset. That's going to be painful to this T-side economy.
And here's the pause. I don't know really what could be discussed here for HellRaisers. I mean, the money is low. It's an awkward scenario to be in. If they decide to, I mean, I don't see them force buying. Right? I physically don't. If they do economic damage to Mousesports, it won't matter. They've got enough money to buy up next round anyway. I imagine we might just see them have to play for the overtime here. We've seen them do nothing on the back of these force buys for the most part. They've really been able to secure themselves rifle rounds. So I don't really think it makes a lot of sense to go out for the force, but Bondic does have the armor and the AK, so could be proven otherwise.
Yeah, I somewhat agree. I somewhat agree, but at a 14-8 scoreline, being realistic, you're not going to pull back a 15-8 scoreline most of the time. 7 rounds in a row to get OT, it's easier said than done. I think just go for the buy here, just go for the risk reward and try and get yourself back into this matchup. They can get a round here, reset Mouse potentially. I mean, looking at the score just off the bat, it's so unrealistic to expect a comeback. So it's hard to justify a save or a force it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing I want to say is Robs has been over towards that B site. On the T side when he was playing B, I wasn't too sure about it, but on the CT side, he's been textbook in terms of how to play it, constantly switching up position, and every single time he's almost playing in solo in a lot of these rounds, and he still just holds the fort, buys time for the rotates, and that's all they need. But this round, we're going to be seeing 2 players straight into Squeaky. Dead Fox and Angel looking like they're going to be boosting up Angel in towards mid. He's only got a UMP though to contest Dennis's M4 over towards middle. You can see the alert coming up from Stico over towards that B site. Doesn't want to allow these players to rotate off quickly. Just him being there prevents the rotates for the time being, and he can catch off the players rotating around over towards A. Lol has a lot on his plate though. He's got to buy time for the rotate and he doesn't get anything done. Oscar does find one at least. Dennis quick up from highway to try and remedy this problem as the bomb's going down on the site. Dennis is here alone, picks up the first frag. No trade just yet, as actually he's still alive, ducking in and out of the smoke, still alive and kicking, still a huge problem, but finally Stico on the flank does take him down. Back into a 3-on-3 we go, with 2 players over towards Truck. Stico on the UMP. Not the ideal gun to have in this scenario to watch this long angle, but still looking to try and make it work. Walks into the waiting arms of Oscar as he hits the deck. Bondic and 0 The crossfire setup, not peeking on out, don't want to give away any advantage, but then Zero takes the aggression, actually finds Chris J as a result. Rops gets one in return, though, as it's all on Bondic over towards Quad. The perfect angle to try and hold, but it doesn't work out as Rops lands the shot. The deep view's going to come in, and that's Mouse to arrive at match point. 15-8.
Yeah, just after a reset, still a couple of rounds later, and a bomb plant going to give money, but no loss bonus for HellRaisers. Like, what can you expect at this point? They needed that round. They needed to get themselves back into this matchup with their best chance of, resetting off the back of their own reset onto Mouse. So this is really no money for them. They have to force things up as we are into potential 2-0 victory for Mouse, and very likely, in fact, as 2 UMPs, 3 invested pistols are going to come out, and I expect a bit of a fast B play, judging by the setup straight off the bat. We have Angel in towards middle, the rest of them set up just outside of B main, and the only positive side for them is it's just Rops to defend. While he has been doing very well so far this matchup on that CT side, him versus 4 players, I know who my money's on. As HellRaisers, they set up ready to go for this B take.
Oh, Chris J in mid, capitalizing on Angel. He can, of course, now fade in through the vents, trying to land the spray. It's going to be Rops, but he goes down as Stiko does trade things out. But it's Dennis, quick on the flank. Finds Stiko. The trade's going back and forth. Ultimately going to be left in a 2-on-2. They grab the bomb. Bondic still has to cross up onto the site, though, and he's only 11 HP. This Molotov from Oscar could do some serious damage as he throws it on in. This could be enough to find one of these players and deny that bomb plant. Heading into the site, Bondic still alive, just dodging the flames for the time being. It's going to get the bomb down, but LOL on the flank. The linchpin, the player was to try and open this up. The perfect angle to dispatch of Dead Fox as well. As he peeks on out, Dead Fox looking completely the wrong way. You're going to go down. It's all on Bondic, who falls. Mouse are going to pick things up 16-8. And that's going to be them taking this 2-0, which, neither of us actually predicted there in the end.
No, I thought they could take Mirage, as you did too, but... Oh, no, you thought HellRaisers. Sorry,
yeah,
Harry, you predicted... What was that? Sorry, 2-0 for HellRaisers?
Yep.
Oof. A little bit off there, slightly off. But yeah, great performance from Mousesports to actually 2-0 that series. A bit unexpected, but there was always that upset potential with a team like this that just brought in a new player 3 weeks ago. They've been practicing well with him, obviously, and it seems to have worked out. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, when you look at someone, you've got to give him props. It is the man himself. Rops. There we go.
Oh, that's so bad.
He's the gift that keeps giving. He literally is. In terms of his name, it rhymes with everything. There's no stopping this man. And yeah, I found his play in the first half a little bit questionable, but it all kind of came into fruition there when we saw him on the CT side. His ability to lock down B was fairly phenomenal, but then you also have to look the way the rest of the guys on Mousesports. I mean, just kind of across the board, everyone turning up in this map, which was, I think the kind of key to their success. Over on Mirage, it looked a little bit shaky early on. We saw really a lot of it kind of fell onto Oscar. Even in the first half of this, it was mainly Oscar making the plays happen for the side of Mousesports. But in the second half, everyone coming into their own. It just wasn't an issue for them. Yeah,
really good performance. I'm actually surprised and happy to see Mousesports do this well. In terms of standings now, that's going to affect it quite heavily. They were up at something like 3rd, 4th place, and now they're going to be boosted, up until one of the higher regions. I'm not sure exactly. We'll have a look at the standings later, I'm sure, when they're updated, but it'll be very interesting to see how they fare now up against some of the top teams in the world. Obviously, I think we can agree Mousesports not exactly at that level, but still in terms of standings, maybe they'll get a chance to prove it at the LAN finals in Dallas.
Yeah, and that would be exciting to see, this new Mouse lineup, especially on LAN. I mean, we've kind of seen the old ones on LAN. We haven't really seen too much come out of that back when they had the old lineup. But now with this new reformed Mouse that's been doing some spectacular things and really making it work, it would be awesome to see them on LAN. Same with HellRaisers, though, kind of in the same boat. I'd like to see both of these teams, in all honesty, and it's sad that as a result of losing both of these HellRaisers, it's looking kind of less and less likely they're going to be able to make it there.
Yeah, there are so many good teams in Pro League as well that I think to see one of them would be a surprise, let alone to see both. But I mean, there's always potential. Again, this is online CS, so anything can really happen. And yeah, it would be nice to see both these teams at least perform. HellRaisers having recent great performance, obviously, as we mentioned at Star Series, so maybe they are the new on-landers. Maybe we could see them perform better at the finals if they do make it, but that is not going to be helping their standings at all. I think they're currently 8th place, so that's really going to keep them in the same spot for the time being. 2 more games not going their way, and it's getting further and further away from them having a chance.
Yeah, this is one they're probably going to be a little bit, kind of upset with, in all honesty. It was one where really they should have at least got one map, if you ask me, but Mouse, they played phenomenally well, as you said. The first map was the one that looked the weakest from them, even though I would say that was the one that we were leaning the way of, Mouse being able to pick up more. They did, but it was a hell of a lot closer. Cash looked to be all Mouse's game. HellRaisers struggling a lot more there, which was weird, right? Considering that they had 16-3'd them, what, no more than kind of like
2 weeks.
like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, a lot can change in a couple of weeks in CS. And I guess it all just kind of comes from them integrating Rops a hell of a lot better into the roster and figuring out his place within the team. And I think that's something we're going to see them go, you know, from strength to strength in regards to, because new player, I mean completely new, you know, completely blank slate.
Yeah.
It is going to take time to work him in, but you can already see the progress they're having in that regard.
Yeah, new Mouse and great scoreline, but we do have another match coming up for you guys. It will be LDLC versus North. The first map is going to be over on Cobble in just a few minutes, but before that we'll take a break, so see you then.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion by Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.